Now shorty, she in the club, she dancing for dollars. She got a thing for that Gucci, that Fendi, that Prada, that BCBG, Burberry, Dolce & Gabbana. She feed them fools fantasies, they pay her cause they want her. She like my style, she like my smile, she like the way I talk. She from the country, think she like me cause I'm from New York. Look baby, this is simple, you can't see. You fucking with me, you fucking with a P-I-M-P. I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms, you can't see that I'm a motherfucking P.I.M.P. I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms, you can't see that I'm a motherfucking P.I.M.P.
So we've had a chance to work through the program on 8 sides. It's a pretty straightforward hit piece with some SSC on target, but is there anything I'm not seeing?
A lot of gray areas, but if what I've seen so far is any indication, we won't know anything for certain until it's in the past.
Pretty much what I was thinking. They just dumbed it down a bunch.
Well, smart guy, I wanted to make sure I didn't lose you halfway through.
Hotmail stepped in before they got out of hand.
It's a good plan. We're prepared.
Well, I'm sure glad to hear that. You guys were so much fun at the brief yesterday, I thought a funeral was going to break out.
Wasn't exactly the end of a career Mish I had in mind, but then again, I thought I'd have won the lottery by now.
Do you even buy tickets?
Only losers buy tickets. Odds are just as good I'll find a winning ticket dropped in a parking lot somewhere.
Not sure that's accurate.
Yeah, well, metric isn't accurate either.
You know, ugly and ignorant is a bad combination.
Funny, that's what your mom tells me every time I go to bail her out of a war.
You quote that from the latest Idiots for Dummies book you brought to read on the flight over.
Putain, that didn't take long.
Told you. Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go check my lotto tickets just in case I don't actually need to get on a chopper with you two bozos. Otherwise, I'll see you at the Bird at 2030. Hotmail, can you make sure the kids get to school on time?
Yes, dear.
Is that your giant oversized bearskin hat in your pants, or are you just real happy to see me?
So you don't have your friendly fire ammo loaded.
I got your friendly fire right here.
Wax and BLT went at each other right up until the chopper was wheeled down. And I just let it play out. These were the last guys I needed to tell how to do their job, so I just sat out of the way and let them bicker.
Are you wearing all my old gear or just the shitty stuff?
So where are you hiding those thousands of rounds that you're going to need to hit anything? You're tucking them into your socks or tucking them in your arsehole?
When we land, you should step out first so nobody thinks we're a threat.
I was surprised they even noticed that we touched down, and I've always been amazed at how quickly they shifted and drive when the time comes. We held in place for about 10 minutes after the chopper cleared. I took a few minutes to enjoy the silence as I lay soaking up the surroundings and scanning for evidence of trouble. Not expecting any, but not getting complacent either. It was a beautiful countryside, and lush vegetation crawled all over us as we lay perfectly still, allowing our senses to acclimatize to the new environment. Time to go. We all stood up slowly and carefully. Hotmail took point and started leading us towards the cabin, roughly 5 clicks away. Then it was BLT, then me, and Wax on the back end. We weren't exactly freewheeling. We were precise and methodical with our movements, but with light packs loaded with only a couple of days of bare necessities, some C4 and a few gadgets, the tempo felt pretty casual. We settled into the final layup point and got the OP established. Wax slinked forward out of view, and we waited for him to report in, which he did about 15 minutes later. Well, that was absolute bullshit. We'd been poring over what we'd been told were recent satellite photos and drone imagery that was detailed enough I could count the roof tiles on the shed behind the house. There was no wall in those photos, but apparently there's a wall now, so time to adapt again. Normally I might get him to work the entire perimeter to develop a picture, but I decided to hold him in place if only as a listening post.
Want the drone?
I thought about it for a few seconds. Nah, it's so quiet out here I don't want to run the risk that somebody will hear it. I'll stick with Wax. You and Hotmail go take a closer look. If things turn on you, don't hesitate to murder, death, kill. Dead is dead, plan or no plan. We'll be a minute away if you need us.
Roger that.
BLT and Hotmail paired up and moved out towards the cabin. Trees swallowed them up almost immediately as I moved out towards Wax's position. I didn't have to worry about Hotmail and BLT. We'd established that common sense was the order of the day, every day. I didn't need to explain to them how close they needed to go, or for how long, or what they needed to look for. They'd work diligently within the parameters of their experience and common sense. If they needed help with something, they'd ask for it. If there was a significant change of circumstance, they'd let us know so we could act on the new situation. Otherwise, I could focus on the bigger picture. Coming to you, Wax.
Sounds good. I'm about 100 meters from the LUP, just left of the peak overlooking the cabin. I'm the Gloxinia sylvatica with a size 10 boots and an M110 sticking out.
Clearly, somebody's been reading the tourist brochures. Took me a few minutes to figure out exactly where he was. He was extraordinarily well camouflaged, even through night vision.
Warm up. Warm up. Colder. Okay, warm up. Warm up. Oh, hello.
Once I'd settled in, I looked through the binos, and as I expected, there wasn't much to see other than a wall and tree branches draped across it. If I really squinted, I could see parts of the cabin, the roof. That was about it. With a little luck, we might see some shadows cast on the side of the house from someone moving around outside, and we'd see anyone coming or going up the road to the driveway, but otherwise we might as well have just been looking in a different direction. We listened for anything that sounded man-made. The generator, the door closing, anything. There was nothing. It was so quiet I could hear Wax blinking beside me. I checked my watch, careful to close an eye to preserve some of my night vision as I glanced at the dim display, then returned the cover over it. 23:15. Pretty early for a cokehead to hit the sack. Maybe he'd gone out? This was entirely plausible, but we'd know more once Hotmail and BLT reported in. We waited a little impatiently as the wind whispered through the forest around us. Finally, I heard a mic open.
Puke BLT. We got a good look, and this whole place is clear. Nobody's here.
Hotmail got to put his lockpicking skills to good use, did he?
Straight through my chastity belt.
Got any computers in there you can play with?
Yeah, roger. Working on that now. 411001's coming right up.
Wax and I exchanged looks. I snickered a little and quasi rolled my eyes. He nodded at me and did what most people would text as LOL. A quick exhale out the nose, a bit louder than usual. It took about 25 minutes for BLT to finish getting his dork on, after which they made their way back up to the layout point. I left Wax in place and went back to meet up with them. We settled in and BLT pulled his tablet back out of his pack.
Okay, so this guy's either baiting us or dumb as shit. He kept all his passwords on a sticky note under his keyboard. Pretty much a free ride wherever I wanted to go, but obviously didn't have a lot of opportunity to go through it.
Anything catch your attention?
Looked at some of his browsing history, checked some of his folders. This is one sick fuck. He's got almost a terabyte of kitty porn, and that was only at a glance. I also took a gander at some recent emails. My Spanish is better than yours, but still pretty unpolished, so we'll need wax to confirm. But it looks like he's grooming a young girl. He's been interacting with someone in Barbados, giving her all these compliments, telling her how pretty she is and how stupid her parents are for not trusting her. Again, we need a little deeper look at this, but it looked to me like he was going to meet her tonight.
If he's gonna bring her back out here,
Rusty scissor time.
holy fuck, Ober.